Yeah, I love Evagrius of Pontus is talking back. There's, for those at home who are watching, he, well, do you want to tell us about it? Or you go.
So it's a collection of scriptures that he pairs with thoughts that would have afflicted monks in the desert, especially under the headings of the 8 evil thoughts that he outlined.
And they're so specific.
Yes, some of them are
oddly specific. You're like, this man has
like,
clearly lived in community.
Has he met me? Yeah, there's even lines like, when the demon of lust says that you need to be talking with this woman for her spiritual benefit or something like that, then you say, and it's always, scriptural response. But the one I think of to say out loud, because I'm not great at memorizing all those things, is there is a way that seems right to man and in the end leads to death, from Sirach or something, I forget.
Ooh,
but that's a great line for any temptation, because I feel like in order to give into a temptation, it often very much feels like just a warm bath, just like warm water rolling over you and you're sleepily kind of consenting to this thing that in the moment just seems like a really great idea. So I like that line. There's a way that seems right to man, in the end leads to death.
It's a fascinating book. The Antireticos is what it's called.
Okay.
And it's fascinating though, because for me, a lot of the scriptures that he used, by the way, that's what I was looking up when you were talking about Acadia, was like what Cashin says, who is a disciple of Evagrius, what Cashin says about the 8 evil thoughts and specifically about Acadia, but it was just interesting. But in the Antireticos, I feel like a lot of the scripture he uses, sometimes I would read it and be like, that's a stretch, I'm like, that's taking that particular verse way out of context. And so it was somewhat helpful for me to have the scripture to combat the thoughts. But what I found so much more helpful about that book, and I would give this kind of as the disclaimer in case anyone listening to this then reads the book, is like what I found even more helpful was simply naming the thoughts. Because there were plenty of things that I read in there that I was like, I didn't even realize this was the devil working against me. Like, I thought that this was just, I don't know. I thought that this was just normal life. And this was just, and then when I read it, I was like, wow, that's absolutely the evil one. And so to be able to articulate those things, because whenever we're able to name something or shed light on something, we have power over it, right? And so that's what I found most helpful about it. Very similar to Screwtape Letters, right? C.S. Lewis, like you're reading Screwtape Letters and you're like, I don't understand how C.S. Lewis knows exactly how the devil works in my life. And then it's like, oh, because he's not very original. He just does the same thing for everyone because we're fools and it works on all of us. And
or every Michael D. O'Brien novel.
Every Michael D. O'Brien novel. How does he know how I pray? How does he know what
Shout out to Michael D. O'Brien. Thank you.
Seriously. Michael O'Brien, if you're listening to this and you ever want to come visit our monastery, you would just make the life of 7 monastics.
Here's an example of his icons that he writes are beautiful. Most kind of modern attempts on art I just find a little banal, but his are exceptional. They're so moving.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, I did ask him to be on the show. I'm not sure if he travels anymore.
Well, I mean, oftentimes people who don't travel still need to go on retreat, and they'll maybe travel for that.
Yeah. Do you hear that, Michael
Did you hear
O'Brien?
that, Michael
I can hook you up if you come on my show.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant he could just come on retreat at my monastery.
No, he has to be on my show, or else he's not allowed to go to your monastery.
Oh,
yes, that's the deal we're coming up
Wow.
with. Thank you very much for watching that clip. Before you go, do us a favor, click like, click subscribe, and if this really meant something to you, help us out by sharing it.